Sixth Grade Productions presents How We Use Technology.
Today the sixth graders are actually going to help with just a few of the ways that we've used technology this year, starting with Josh.
Miss Machemer uses this every day for many different classes, like this one on language. It's on adverbs. Thomas Jefferson lived happily in the White House. Happy is the adverb, and it modifies lived.
Thank you, Josh. One of the things that we've been working on just this week is the Mimeo. I know Angela and Marie have really worked on it a lot physically. I've looked at some websites, and that is one thing I want to start using next year so that our whiteboard will then be interactive. Christina, what have you got up there?
Sometimes we learn about something in class, and Mrs. Machemer gives us a website where we can explore more about the topic. One we did in the fall was about ancient Egypt after we read the book The Egypt Game. We went to the British Museum in London and completed a web quest.
That looks like a cool site. Was that something that you enjoyed doing?
Yeah.
Super. All right. Amanda, what have you got up there?
Sometimes, when we review for a language test, we use MindJogger. It's a really fun way to review. Today, it's on Mrs. Machemer's laptop to save some time.
Question 2. What word does the underlined adverb modify? A totally slimy creature oozed out of the swamp.
Great question. Okay, we get the idea there. And normally that would be up on the whiteboard for the whole class to do at the same time. Abby.
Sometimes in art class, Mrs. Machemer looks up paintings so we can do our artwork in the style of a famous artist. This painting is done by Matisse.
Beautiful. And that helps the students to see some great works of art and to imitate what those artists have done. Dom, what have you got for us?
We learned about idioms in lit class. We went to this website and I'll show you what we did. School would be blank without tests and homework. School would be a bed of roses without tests and homework.
Okay, let's see, they had a drop-down menu to choose from. Thank you, Dom. Elena and Richard are working together on something that all three of my classes do quite frequently. Elena and Richard, tell us about it.
In sixth grade, whenever we write a paper, we do our webbing, our revising, and our editing on our netbooks.
Here's an essay I did earlier this year. Here's an example of how we might work together to improve a paragraph. It could be a little thing like learning how to get along with others. It could be something big like a friend getting bullied.
Hey, you should put an or there.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I said, that is something that all three grades do quite frequently. We'll be moving back here to Jacob. And as soon as I scooch around, he'll share with us what's on his netbook right now.
Our new religion series has lots of online activities. Here's one we did looking at 3 different Gospels and how they wrote about the same event before Holy Week.
Now, it's probably a little hard to see because they're little tiny letters, but he just took a letter and scrolled it over there to the Venn diagram. Thank you, Jacob. Justin.
A cool way to study for a social studies test is to take an online test on the PH School website. I can do this at home, school, or wherever I have any internet access. The East African language that combined Bantu with Arabic is called Swahili.
And we have numerous textbooks that have online resources that we make frequent use of. Lucas.
Here's a website connected with our literature book. Sometimes we go here after reading a story to learn more.
What was this website on?
Greek mythology.
Very cool. And as you said, this is associated with our literature book. And then finally, Jonathan has something that he's created.
Throughout the year, we do many PowerPoints with Mrs. Machemer. Here's one I did on the Mackinac Bridge. How many engineers were there working on the Mackinac Bridge? 350 engineers.
Very good. And right now, students just actually this morning had parable presentations, and they'll be working on a presentation as well for their research paper. So that kind of wraps up some of the things we do. I'd like to get an online writing service, something like Criterion. I'd love to get publisher for our newspaper. The newspaper kids use this a lot. My 7th and 8th graders also regularly journal and fast direct me, and they shoot their journals to me through email. I'd like to get that up and running for 6th graders as well. So, 6th graders, let's close it up.
Adios.